Welcome to the Higher Ed Demand Gen podcast, helping higher education marketing leaders share knowledge about learning, strategies, and tactics that are relevant today. See what you can learn today by listening to one of our episodes.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to today's Higher Ed Demand Gen video podcast hosted by Concept 3D. Concept 3D has served the higher education community for over a decade with our award-winning interactive maps and virtual tours. Improve your campus communications, engagement, and recruitment with our powerful location-based virtual experiences. My name is Shiro, and I will be your host today. I'm the Director of Demand Generation at Concept 3D, and I'm speaking from my home in Silverthorne, Colorado, which is an hour west of Denver, so it's a little mountain town. And today, I'm super excited to be joined by Beth Marks. She's the Executive Director for Strategic Enrollment Marketing at the University of the Pacific. She's a higher ed leader with a plethora of experience in enrollment management specifically. She's worked at Solra State University, University of New Orleans, and now she's at University of the Pacific. And fun fact, we both share a passion for Nike Air Force Ones, which is a really cool sneaker. So if you don't know about them, check them out. Mary, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, the Nike Air Force One. So if you, I traded in my heels and C-suite suits for graphic tees and Nike Air Force Ones, and I am not going back. As Shiro said, I've been in higher ed for over 15 years now. I wanted to be a soap opera star. Obviously that didn't work out. Here I am. But it's a different type of soap opera on a university, as I'm sure everyone listening knows. I started at the university that I graduated from. I started in transfer admissions. I went out to a small university in West Texas, population 10. Not kidding. I'm kidding. It's a little bit more than 10, but it was a very remote location. So if you're familiar with Big Bend National Park, West Texas area, we're about 100 miles from there. And then after that, I went to New Orleans for a few years. I was AVP and then VP of enrollment management there. And then most recently, I'm out on the West Coast in California at a small private school, the University of the Pacific. I'm really enjoying the weather out here in California. Fun fact about me. Well, this one's tough. I guess like the fun fact about me would be that I love trail running, I love skiing, and I love surfing. And I'm able to do all three of those things in one weekend in California if I really budgeted my time and tried hard enough.
I almost forgot about that, and because I just remembered the Air Force One thing that we talked about, yes. But I now remember we talked about surfing and skiing. Oh man,
yes, because you are a ski bum yourself, right?
I am a ski bum, yes, certified. Yeah. If there was a badge, I'd wear it.
but skis or snowboard?
I'm a skier. I was raised as a skier, and I tried snowboarding for a year or two because it was the cool thing to do for a period. And then I went right back.
Good. Yeah, I was going to have to trash talk if you were a snowboarder. Because totally interrupts my whole flow down the mountain when they wipe out in front of me.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Great. Well, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your role at University of the Pacific and what you're kind of up to?
Sure. So this is a new division that was developed under my Vice President for Enrollment, Chris Ferguson. He took some areas from the different colleges, all had a recruiting marketing specialist that worked in there. He brought them all in centrally, and we focus on strategic enrollment marketing communications. That was my favorite part of my job at the University of New Orleans. I worked with some really great people, Sarah Burgess, I hope she listens. I learned a lot with her on marketing, and my former president at UNO, Dr. John Nicklow, was also a good person to learn from in terms of marketing and all. So then I was really able to see how marketing influences the enrollment funnel overall, more than just as a layer on top of other things too. So that was a really good experience. I heard about this job my boss. We talked about it. I hunted him down at a conference the next day and I said, that's the job that I want. I need you to tell me more about it. And from there, then within a few months, I'm out here in Pacific. I'm running a small division of about probably 10. We have strategic content. We have we do the email, so we do the digital marketing, we do the email, we do the collateral, so the mail pieces and all the way from a prospective student all the way through the funnel to confirmed and then anti-melt. And we are just getting ready, of course, like everyone else, to start our next recruiting phase for fall 2023, and thinking strategically about what those things might include or not include this year, especially as it seems like we're heading out of a pandemic, and things will still be changing, maybe not as quickly as they did in 2020,
right.
But there'll still be some shift, and I think there'll be some expectations that we'll need to make sure that we meet in terms of marketing, and there'll be some, I think, value messaging that'll be really important as well.
Got it. Yeah, I think we're in, I don't know which phase, but phase 2 or 3 of the pandemic, which is the aftermath, right?
Kind of like, it's here and we have to figure out how we're gonna, live with it and still function and everything. That's where I feel
exactly.
Like we're right now.
Absolutely. I know you mentioned melt. I know in our last call we talked about, some exact details about it, but what are some of the things you're doing right now to combat melt? Since we're on that topic.
Yeah, sure. Since we're on that topic, the number one area that I really like to drill down in and work on is our parents. I truly believe that parents are your best ally. Of course, we all know the term helicopter parent or bulldozer parent. We've all run into those throughout our careers.
Right.
I'm not even sure I don't even want to know if I am either one of those at this point. I just don't let me know. I don't think I am, but part of what we have to step back and realize is that these parents, if you are a parent right now, you have had this whole cycle of your child in elementary school and high school. You've been able to access everything that they've done. You can see it all. You get messages from the school, you get emails from your school, you get newsletters, you can see the grades, when they're late, when they didn't go to class, all of those things. And you've been connected, and then all of a sudden your child is going off to a college or university and you don't really know what's going on. Every college university has a different admissions process. They might be test optional. You might need help with financial aid. And the best way to get those things completed as an enrollment manager and marketer is to ask the parents to become your allies. Of course, you're not going to be like, well, you team up with me and help me get your child into school. But by directly messaging them, we've seen some pretty good results in terms of our net deposits. So our confirmed students have deposited at 3% higher than May 1st of last year. So I haven't looked lately, but I think at this point we're like 16% ahead of last year. And of course, 16. It's awesome, right? I mean, there's a couple different things at play. COVID, being in California, I think there was a small amount, shorter window of time where they pulled back some of the restrictions, and then right before the fall semester started, they brought those back in. And we know that freshmen really wanted to have that real college experience, and being online wasn't going to help any. But I think adding in the parent piece to that, letting them know each step of the way, really helped. We partner with a vendor called Campus ESP. It's an online platform that allows parents to opt in at different levels, and then they will move that parent through your enrollment funnel as their matched student moves through their enrollment funnel. So they're getting these messages throughout this time, especially what they want to hear, things about financial aid, deadlines. Campus safety is another one for us that we like to put out there. Housing, scholarships, all of those are big things. If you had Campus ESP or you had a similar way to communicate with parents during the height of the pandemic, is a very important tool. I think that's when we all learned how important parents were to us into developing our fall classes by communicating with them regularly about the steps your campus was taking to keep their child safe and what was going to happen if they did come back to class, or would they be online and those types of things. So we've been able to successfully leverage that here, and that we use that to recruit students all the way through. And parents, as I've said, have been a great asset in asking questions and making sure things get done. We even used it to do like application reminders and workshops for their students. So we would tell the parent there's a workshop for your student to complete their application, and our incomplete application numbers also decreased, and we were able to admit more students. Financial aid workshops have been greatly attended as well, and we advertise those and announce those to the parent portal. Recently, Campus ESP added on another feature, SMS messaging. So we're able to text those parents that opt in. It's been a great tool to have, especially at this committed student stage where we're really working hard on this anti-melt, to send parents reminders about there's this event coming up that we think you should attend about financial aid or how to read your bill. Here's our next thing, move-in starts now. Here are the next top 5 things you need to know, help your student get done so they can go to advising. And so we found that to be a really good tool in terms of managing anti-melt. And then my content team has been working hard to develop content specific to Pacific. Say that 10 times fast. Specific to Pacific, yeah.
You got it. I messed up my first one.
So that's very specific to our campus. They put post this on the blog, and then parents are able to read more about things, but then also it directs them to the correct web pages to check things out too. And we found that to be very helpful. And then
some of your outreach connected to the content that you're also producing as well.
Definitely. Yep. And then that content you can use in a couple different places too. You just have to change your audience voice. It can be for your prospective students or your admitted students later on. So there's a couple ways that you can double down on that. And that, I think, for our team has been very helpful in using that platform, Campus ESP, and then the content that we produce through Campus ESP to help the rest of the team combat melt.
Got it. And I know you mentioned on our previous call, like text messaging was like this big thing that you were able to do, and it really helped. Are you able to track like the impact text messaging you did? Like, how were you able to know that that's what was working? That was the new channel that was working.
What we did was we looked at, we could send announcements to parents, and we noticed that they were getting really good open rates, but it would take about 4 days for that open rate to really hit its peak. Whereas the text message was almost an immediate response, and it could be a two-way conversation. The announcement was just an email announcement in their inbox, and they're fine with that too. But the text opened up an opportunity for conversation. We sent our committed parents, a survey and asked them what they wanted to hear, what they would want to know from us via text. And it, of course, kind of matched what we thought: financial aid, scholarships, move-in days, important date reminders that they like to get. Kind of like, I always like my doctor's office or the vet or whoever to send me a reminder text the day before, because a lot of times so much stuff going on, and then you get that text the night before or the day before, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I gotta get this done.
Got it. Yeah. And I imagine parents' inboxes, if it's their personal ones and they're working parents, it's probably crazy, right? So
yeah, between the two of them, that I'm sure there's a lot going on.
Got it. And I remember specifically we were talking about, University of Pacific and, what makes the school unique. And you were using some of that and reflecting that in your messaging, in your content. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that as well?
Sure. Yeah. So we're positioned in a unique location. So we're in Stockton, California. It's not a metropolitan area. It's not a big city. It's not a small area either. But so you might think, well, what's great about being in Stockton? Well, the cool thing about it is that you're an hour from San Francisco. You're maybe 2 hours from one like Santa Cruz or a beach. You're an hour and 15, maybe 2 hours to Yosemite. Sacramento's 45 minutes away. So you're located in this great location, and we use that content to help let parents know what it was like to be what Stockton was like, because some of you might get off the podcast, Google Stockton, and end up seeing things that I think that every city has to deal with in terms of crime But for whatever reason, it comes up pretty high on a search if you just were to Google Stockton, California. And so what we've been using the content to is to drive the search engine optimization. And we've been doing that through our blogs, not the parent portal, but through our People of Pacific blogs. We've been optimizing keywords that include the city of Stockton or Stockton, and their articles like, here's things to do this summer, what's fun to do in Stockton this summer. We included one on campus safety and how safe our campus is based on the Clery Act reporting. And we've done other things like throughout the year that coincides with the enrollment funnel and where we're at, but also we try to bring in things that are going on that we can use the keywords from the city, because what we're doing is just pushing those negative search results further down on Google and boosting up our positive things too. So if somebody is looking for a fairly, I don't want to say easy, but a way to boost your search engine optimization, a blog is a great way to start with we use WordPress because it integrates with our website and it lets you put in those key terms, the SEO optimization, and then points directly to your website. So you're not only boosting up your blog, but you're using your blog to boost your website actions as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's a really hard task, like ranking on trying to create ranking on Google or other search engines is really hard.
It's not a one and done. It's not a one-step process.
No,
it's several and sometimes, in our instance, it's not just the university, it's the city itself that we have to help out to. And that could be at a disadvantage when truly it's the same. I'm not, haven't been in a whole bunch of metropolitan areas, many metropolitan areas, but it's not any different than anywhere else I've been or lived in. It just appears differently when you're learning about it for the first time.
I want to jump back really quick to the parent topic again.
Sure.
I know you were telling me some really cool ideas that you had around what to send. You were telling me about physical things, and you remember you came up with a really cool gift package, and that was not just for the student, right? It was also for the parent.
We had two different committed student gifts. One went to the students, was really cool. The team did a great job on that one. It was a water bottle with a wraparound campus sticker and some messaging on the inside of the box. We're sustainable campus. We're the #1 in California for sustainability for private universities. So we really want to capitalize on that because we know that's important to this group of students that we're marketing to. So the reusable water bottle was a gift that we thought was very suiting to our campus climate, to the things that we say about campus. So one of our smaller bylines is 300 days of sunshine. So we want to make sure everybody stays hydrated this summer. But the other thing that we did for parents is we just finished a mailer. It's going to be a magnet. So there's this, when you get those important date magnets or things that you slap from I think real estate agents do a great job of this one. Put it on your refrigerator, and it's a checklist of everything that you need to get done. So we created one just for parents. We'll be sending that out shortly, but it's got all the important dates that you would want to know as a parent. So not only might Pacific text you these dates, and put it in our blog, but now you'll also have a magnet on wherever you stick it to remind you that on August 1st, you have to pay your students' tuition. Sorry, but here's when they're coming home. Midterms is now, so you can remind them to study, or if you don't hear from them, if communication seems to lag around this time, it's probably because they're studying. Here's when the holiday breaks are, so you can plan for these things to come back. Here's when they should start registering for spring, and then here's when the spring semester starts. So for every parent that we have a mailing address on file for and a committed student that matches, we'll mail that to them. And it's got a cute picture of our mascot. This is a podcast, so there'll be no visual, but I can show you. It'll look like this. I don't know if you can see. So we have a tiger. Yeah. It's called Power Cat. He's got a suitcase and he's walking across campus here like he's leaving. So I think as a parent, I would like getting something that's addressed specifically to me with these dates that I can
Right.
reference as we're like.
Got it. So you're really increasing all the different channels. There's one that's
Mhm.
physical, one that's through your phone, and then one through email, right? And so
Yes.
you're just really increasing your communication line with parents, and everyone communicates differently. So you're just trying to at least hit all the marks
Right.
so that
Right.
you at least be able to communicate with them through one of them.
And I anticipate next year we'll be doing digital around parents too, just trying to get recruiting a
Great.
parent, maybe even before we recruit a student. So
Wow.
we'll have prospective parents. And I do know
Got
that
it.
College Board and Ancora, they're now selling those options to universities that you can buy parent contact info from them too. So they
That's great.
are also stepping up and recognizing the importance of recruiting a parent.
That's great. All right, switching gears a little bit. I know we talked about this before. Really exciting about talking about the future, but what do you think the future of enrollment management looks like?
Oh, yeah. Future of enrollment management. So it's a little scary. It's going to be scary out there for sure. But I think we as enrollment management leaders in marketing, whether it's, you think it's part of your job or not, I'm here to tell you, if you're just a VP of enrollment management, marketing is probably one of the most important things you can invest in and do to help your class. So a lot of times I think we in higher ed tend to move a little bit slowly. The fastest I've ever seen things come down was during COVID, like when COVID hit and we had to go virtual. And I think that is our Achilles heel. We are not, we don't respond to demands quickly enough. We like to assess, we like to see, who's going to take that first dip into the water. Is it cold? Did it work? Thank God that wasn't us. I am going to step out of that mold a little bit. I'm going to push my team to be very creative, and I know they're ready for it. We're going to start recruiting in the meta. That's our goal. At least in 2 years, we will be fully functioning in the meta, recruiting students. So we'll have experiences in there. You can talk to your professors in there. You can participate in a lab in there. You can take campus tour. Will probably be one of our first things that we do. Financial aid sessions. It will all be, there'll be meetups in the meta for Pacific students, for incoming Pacific students. And what I'm thinking is, and I'm looking at, not even this Gen Z that we keep talking about, but the kids coming up behind them that are even younger. And for those of you who do have younger access to, like, I'm talking like 10, 12, tweens, preteen, that age group, the way that they access and absorb material and the way that they want to see things is different even than Gen Z. So we know Gen Z has this TikTok thing and the videos and all of that. The generation behind them is even more engaged with those types of things. So my goal is to be one of the first, hopefully the first private in the meta, recruiting in the meta and successfully recruiting in the meta. Again, I don't think that's going to be like the magic, the silver bullet. That's not going to be the answer to all of our recruiting problems. But I believe that looking forward and being more proactive further than just this next class that we're recruiting right now, and making those plans and being there and taking that jump is very important. This morning I was I had a doctor's appointment, and he was telling me about, Kodak had this opportunity to do digital cameras, but they didn't do it because they had the corner on the film, and that would, really cut into their profits. And guess what? Somebody else took it, and Kodak had to file for bankruptcy. And that, I think, is really going to happen with higher ed. I really deeply feel it to my core that if we don't move quicker than what we have been, we will lose out.
Right.
And the competition is only going to get stronger. So
Yeah.
you have to be poised and ready to jump if you're not already there.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning not just looking to next year or the year after, like really having the foresight to look 4 or 5 years ahead into the market, because that's where you're starting admissions and marketing now, and recruitment marketing now, right?
And the data
is a much younger age.
Yeah, and you can see You can see the data for, who's getting Oculus or VR headsets and the trend that's growing up. I likened it, like for my age group, it was the VCR to DVD thing. Like I used to work at a video store. That was one of my first jobs growing up. I was like, oh, DVD, that's not going to take off. Price point for a DVD player is like, it was expensive when it first started, but now, I mean, people don't even have DVD players anymore. You just stream it. And so thank goodness I didn't like own that video company. I would have been out. I would have been bankrupt too, because I didn't have the foresight. But now I realized, like, if all the times we say to ourselves, like, if only I had invested in Netflix when it first was the IPO, or Amazon.
Now it's down.
Like, yeah, I know they all are now, but I mean, I'm not here to do the financial advice thing, but
right.
That's at some point,
that's our next podcast.
Yeah. But at some point, we have all probably said something similar to that. And this is the opportunity to grab that, make that case to your supervisor or whoever, your champion is, the person that really believes in the next, not even this upcoming, but looking forward enough to make those changes and help you get there and succeed.